Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today I wanted to come on and share a bit about my October daily plans. I know I did a little live over on Instagram, but I wanted to go into a little more detail and show you where I'm at right now. Talk to you about some of the things that I have gathered up and am still in the process of gathering up. Kind of how my whole fall documenting season is going to work, and then hopefully have time to put together my prompt list page and my reason why page in my album. So let me go ahead and kind of show you where I'm at to start with on my album, and then I'll pull some things in and show you that I want to share. So I used the Heidi Swapp Storyline Chapters album, and I did this one with the black kind of a spotty dot. I thought that one would work well for October. And I have seen before where Heidi Swapp and other people have cut out pieces of their cover to reveal a title or an image or something on the page below. So I really wanted to do that for this album. I always like to try something different. I like being able to see the title on the front of my album. If you remember on like my Me, Myself, and I printed out on fabric, or I just used fabric and then stamped onto the fabric and adhered it to my album front. So I like to be able to see the name when I look at the front. So what I did was determine about how much space I needed to use for these stamps, and I'm using my favorite, and you can see they are nasty and need cleaning, but it's Heidi Swapp Classic Heidi Alpha. It is still my current favorite alpha stamp right now. And as you see, I'm still not a perfect stamper. There's always going to be a letter or two that's a little wonky, but you know, that's just how it goes over here. So I determined about how much space I needed, and I decided 3x5 was my size. So I cut out a piece of paper that was 3x5 and lightly traced around it with a pencil. Then I put a I'll show it to you. Hold on 1 second. I put this, which is like a self-healing mat, under here, and then just went around with my X-Acto knife and cut that out. And then I knew I wanted to do a little more to that, so I used my distress tool, and I ended up going back in with my scissors a little bit to get into the corners a little bit better. But I wanted there to be some distressing because that's just kind of my style. That's what I like. And then I also wanted to stitch. And if you've seen my previous projects, I like for my stitching to be messy and a little random. I don't like it to be, you know, perfect and pristine. This was the best orangish color I had. It is orange, but it's more to the coral side. So it doesn't match my ink perfectly well. When I did some stamping tests beforehand, it seemed like it was going to match better, but you know, it is what it is. And so what I used to stamp with was Distress Oxide in Spice Marmalade. And the toughest thing was kind of getting, when you get to the section of the book where this whole piece needs to go through the sewing machine. Other than that, it was pretty easy to do the stitching on the cover. So then on the inside, there's my stamping, and then I had the back of the stitching, which mine always looks messy. I don't know what other people's looks like, but mine's always a little messy, probably because I do a lot of back and forth stitching. So I grabbed this older Studio Calico. It's from their, what is it called? Color Theory line. And I liked how it matched with my title and just kind of had, you know, just the, not a lot of pattern to it. So it wasn't just really in your face, but it served to cover up the stitching, which I think will protect it more. Also, I think it looks better than seeing the stitching, and it gave it just a little bit more stability back into the cover since I had cut it out. I probably will go back and do some sort of embellishing on this page, but I haven't decided what that's going to be yet. Okay, so real quickly, because I don't want this video to get too crazy long, I am going to use that classic Heidi Alpha Swap, most likely for much of the stamping that I do. I'm not sure how much stamping I am going to do, but I will use this for sure. And then I have the October. I do the each month stamp that Heidi Swap puts out that she started in January of this year. And so I will likely use some of these words or icons in my album. I also shared on Instagram that I had taken the project planning sheets that Crystal Eden-Yate always shares down in the links of her videos, and I'm probably sure she has it on her website at this point, perhaps. I can't say for certain. But I went ahead and did one for all 31 days. So when I do these like this, I do day 1 and 2 on the same piece of paper. I just think that's, you know, less wasteful, and I do 1 and 2 at the same time. I create them at the same time. So I've got these all ready to go, and what I'm pulling out of is this little Target bin, those bathroom bins. There a lot of people have the lids. I have some of those somewhere around here, but I don't have it right off hand. And these were actually like the bottoms that went to the lid. So I have several sizes of these, and I have been using those almost every project. I have a little spot on one of my Kallax shelves where that's just kind of like where my current project is sitting with everything that I need. So in there, I also have the prompt list that I pulled from, and I talked about these over on Instagram as well. I have this very keen interest and desire to give credit where credit is due. So as I pulled from other people's prompts, I definitely want to be able to say where I got that prompt from, because I don't ever want to feel like I am stepping on someone's toes or stealing someone else's work or ideas. I would not want that done to me, and I certainly don't want to do it to anyone else. So I'll also have lots of these scrapbook.com envelopes that I've used in a couple of other projects as well, as I start to pre-plan and gather up things. And each one will have, each one will have the sketch and any notes that I need for that day, as well as the product. And these pages I cut to the full size of the album, which is, it's actually 7.5 by 9. It's not quite the same thing that's on the planning sheet. They're a little too big to close, but they're fine. It doesn't mess up my papers. I have this that I kind of used as a prompt for a photo, which is just a good, crisp, clean printout of my prompts that I decided to go with. This is what I call my working copy. I'll just make notes on the front and the back as I work through things. Then I have a little selection of some papers that I have already printed out. These came from Tracy Reed's Harvest Moon, which was from last month, and it's the one that kind of spans from summer to fall, kind of that in-between time that we seem to have in September a lot of times. And then I will also pull from her October Mood collection, which is gorgeous and comes out tomorrow on Friday, October 1st. And then I also have some papers from Syncopation Design. That's her handle on Instagram and the name of her shop on Etsy. So I know for sure this one was like a 4x6 card, and I blew it up. I thought it might work as a title page. This was hers, and so she has two bundles right now on clearance, maybe not clearance, I don't know, on sale, 50% off. One is Trick or Treat, and the other is Pick Me Harvest, and that's the two that I downloaded, as well as some other other of her products because she has some really pretty digital products in her shop, and her prices are very good. She has lots of embellishments and other things included. Okay, then I also have my Fall in the Nest, just my general fall album. That will be things that we do during the fall, where I'll be able to go into a little more detail than I would with my project life. Like if it occurs in that week, it can be more journaling or photo heavy. And we have several things planned that will be going into that album. I also have a copy of my Victoria Marie last virtual crop because it was fall related, and I thought, you know, that might give me some inspiration, or I might be able to kind of tie some of those things together. So I have all of that, and I know I'm talking forever. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to share ideas for anyone who might need it. Fast forward through this part if you need to. I also, just in my stash, have this Carta Bella Fall Market and Fall Break. It's two different lines, and I had ordered just a bunch of random papers from scrapbook.com last year, and I love the Carta Bella paper. It is textured, it is thick, it is heavy. Some of their designs are a little busy for me, but then some of the designs are, you know, much easier to use. So it's really good quality paper. So like I said, I have some from Fall Market and Fall Break. I have some, oops, sorry, where the camera hit. I have some of the solid cardstock, and then I have two sticker sheets. That one and this one. And I may not use these a whole lot in this October album because I will be doing Thankful 30 as well in November, which I still have last year's kit that I'm probably going to use and just incorporate some other things. And then I also have this chipboard set from Fall Market. I have also ordered a few more pages from our papers and products from scrapbook.com for this year, so they should be coming in soon, hopefully. I had these as a free gift from scrapbook.com a little while back. They are Prima flowers. I guess maybe they're making a comeback. I know they used to be big a long time ago, and you know, all things old are new again. So these are perfect colors. I won't be able to use them in my October Daily album. They're just two-dimensional, I think, unless there's some flatter ones in the back. But maybe in my other albums, I might be able to use these. I have a couple of little empty storage containers. This one just came from the Dollar Tree. I will probably take those digital collections, fill up several pages, and then print them, and maybe even just cut them out on my Silhouette or Fussy Cut or whatever. But if there's anything small, I can group them together in these, and then I have a couple of other sizes as well. Also, I wanted to talk real quickly about paper. I have been using this Canon Photo Paper Plus Glossy 2. That's been kind of my standard go-to. But what I realized in my Me, Myself, and I project, where everything is, you know, in this album, no page protectors, the photos very easily got scuffed, fingerprints showed up. If any kind of glue got on there, it messed up, you know, the shimmer and the shine, because this is a high gloss. It's not just the regular gloss, it's a high gloss. So what I have ordered from Amazon, it has not come in yet, I just ordered it yesterday, is still a Canon paper, but it's it might have been called Luster. It's supposed to be somewhere between matte and gloss. I didn't really want to go all the way matte, so I'm going to try that in this format and see how I like it. Also, as a reminder, I've mentioned before, anything digital that I print out, like the digital papers or ephemera, I print them on this Canon matte photo paper. I'm pretty sure it's $4.99 on Amazon for 50 sheets. And it just makes the printables, I mean, they're gorgeous. You just get full color. Let me get one that's got a really colorful background. This one here. I don't know how well it shows up in the camera, but I mean, it's just as crisp and clean and vibrant as a piece of paper you would buy from the store would be. So it just makes a huge difference over printing on cardstock. It's not quite as thick, so you've got to kind of deal with that. But sometimes, especially in these kinds of albums, not having such thick papers is a benefit because you're dealing with something that's bound. Okay, so now that I have talked for forever, I'm going to try to go ahead and put you on fast forward and get these couple of pages. They're really quick. Get those done and get this video finished up. All right, let's do it. Okay guys, hang on tight because this one is going to go fast. It's mostly just me sticking things down and showing you what I've done. But I did want to go ahead and get these 2 pages done in this video so that I can kind of start fresh with prompts 1 and 2 in the next video. Actually, I'll do 4 per video. So both of these papers that I'm using, this beautiful lilac-y pinky color, and then that green, almost it looks like a bit of a seed or a leaf print. Both of those are from Tracy Reed's Harvest Moon collection, and so I'm just adhering both of those down, and I use score tape to adhere the papers to my page. And then I'm going to put these down just in the middle with some rolling adhesive, and then I'm going to take them over to my sewing machine and stitch around them in black because I love texture, dimension, you know, the distressing. I love it all. And so I showed you where I did the stitching, and I also showed you where I did the distressing with my little distress tool. And now I'm just going to put those onto each page with rolling adhesive again. I'm going right over those stitches so that they'll be stuck down really well. And then that's going to finish this up for today. So I'll be back here live in a second. Okay, that's where we are going to call this one done. I don't know what it is about this purpley, lilac-y, pinky paper, but I love it, and I love it with how it went with this rectangle on my prompt list. I chose the color from one of the pumpkins and then turned the opacity down so you could kind of still see the pumpkins through there, but be able to read my text. And for some reason, when I put it up against this purpley paper, it just brings out a purple color, and I really, really like it. So, but I did definitely want to put that border, the darker border, to make it pop more with these white papers. And I love to do some messy stitching, and I love to do distressing, so I knew I wanted to go ahead and do that in this prompt list page and my reason why page. So I know this video is super long. I am going to read my reason why. I love to hear other people read their journaling. It's something special about hearing it in their own voice. If that's not something you're interested in, I certainly understand that. And I will see you in the next video. And I will go ahead and say, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. And please consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. I'd also love you to follow me over on Instagram, where I share a lot of other types of projects and just day-to-day things and in-process work, and some stuff that just never makes it over here to YouTube. So I will see you in the next video, as I have already said, if you don't want to hear the journaling. And until then, I hope you have a great day. Now, for those of you that would like to hear the journaling, here we go. Why would a 51-year-old empty nester who has not worked outside of the home for over 8 years embark on an October daily journey for the very first time? She hasn't had trick-or-treating aged children in many years, as her boys are 27, 29, and almost 31. She no longer goes all out for Halloween decorations since there are no little ones here to enjoy the spooky, creepy atmosphere. She doesn't make creative goodie bags filled with delicious candies for 3 classrooms full of children anymore. There's not a huge bowl of candy on the kitchen counter these days. She hasn't been on the search for the perfect Halloween costumes in forever. She also hasn't secretly picked out a few good pieces of chocolate candy from her boys' pumpkins in more years than she can remember. But you know what? She still loves this time of the year. After all, any month that belongs to autumn is her favorite. She enjoys reminiscing about Octobers of the past. She gets excited thinking of special traditions from when her boys were young. She is thrilled to document any and every memory she can. So, she is going for it. She is going to work through a different lens than many others will, and that is perfectly okay. She won't have a lot of Halloween stories. Even though it's that season, that's not the current season of her life. She will have a mixture of Halloween and autumn. There will be a combination of current day stories as well as precious memories from the past. She is extremely happy and excited to begin this adventure. So many crafty friends have welcomed her and encouraged her. Anytime she can play with papers and stickers and stamps feels like self-care to her. Time in her craft room is like time in therapy working on her mental health. She will capture great things in this album, and that will bring her immense joy. She is me. I am here and I am ready to roll. All right, and I realized that I guess when I copied over from Word to Photoshop that was a typo, and I didn't see because it was fine when I had it in Word, but you know what, it's probably just gonna stay. I don't know if I'll try to redo it or not. Okay, for those of you that hung on, I certainly appreciate it. I appreciate you hanging around for such a long video. And again, I hope you have an amazing day. Do something good for yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.